Aloha, everybody. Pastor Mark here on Tuesday, and just wrapping up some of my final meetings here in Ohio before I fly back tomorrow, and wanted just to greet you and let you know I'm praying for you. I was reflecting yesterday on December 7th, Pearl Harbor Day, and thanking God for the wonderful freedoms we still have as a country because of the brave men and women that have gone before us. And I always do a little time of personal reflection on Pearl Harbor Day and remember that it is the great sacrifices that people have made that allow me to do what I do, and certainly even in our freedom of worship, even though that seems to be challenged these days. And then, of course, waking up this morning to hear the news that Chuck Yeager, at 97 years of age, passed away. You think of the history that he made and the sound barrier and the test pilot that he was, and this rich career of serving through the Air Force. And it's such a reminder that God has blessed us with some incredible people in our country. And that continues to be the case today as so many are working through all of the issues of our day. But something about December 7th and the aerial attacks and the sadness and tragedy of that day, and then heroes like Chuck Yeager. I'm actually standing or sitting in my car in front of the Wright B. Flyer Museum from the Wright brothers. Of course, everything in Dayton centers around aviation, and I've been to so many museums in my couple of trips here that bring all that back to mind. And it's just amazing when you think of the history of flight itself, how many have gone before us there as well to make it so easy for me to fly and us to fly these days. By the way, I think flying right now, this is just my personal take, I think it's the safest time to fly. A lot of people disagree with me, but every time I get on a plane that's been scrubbed and run through the ringer, and then they bring in machines to disinfect, and I think they sprayed me down a couple times. I'm not really sure, but I felt like it. I was thinking again of that verse today that I wanted to share with you out of Joshua 1, verse 9. And God speaking to Joshua and saying, "Do not tremble or be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go." And I wonder sometimes, I don't know about Chuck Yeager's faith, but I heard some news clips of him talking about fear and how he had to overcome certain things to find the greater good of the accomplishments. Fear is a topic we've addressed many times during 2020 and will continue to. But God says wherever we go, he's with us. And if I could physically turn this camera around and show you the passenger seat of this car, and you could and capture an image of God or Jesus himself sitting with us, that would probably be easier for a lot of us. But we don't serve a God who appears that way. I mean, he has in the Bible before, but we serve him in spirit and truth. And there's that absolute reassurance, whether it's COVID, fear of flying, any issue of fear at all, God reminds us that we don't need to tremble or even be dismayed because he's with us wherever we go. I know there was a lot of fear 79 years ago yesterday when the Japanese were bombing Pearl Harbor, and the total unexpected part of that, and of course all the disaster that was seen. I know Chuck Yeager had some fear, as he was expressing in some of those interviews. I'm sure these two brothers, with all the excitement of early aviation, had some fears as well, as they were test piloting as well. But emotional, physical, whatever kind of fear it is, spiritual fear included, we have this wonderful promise as believers that God is with us wherever we go. I love reading that verse over and over again and being reminded of that promise. I hope today, in the short couple minutes that we have here, that you're reminded, whatever might be heavy on your heart today, that God is with you. And you don't need to tremble or be dismayed. You can be honest with him, but let that settle back into the fact that the God of the universe is with you. He's with me. And Therefore, there's no reason to. And when we're tempted to become fearful, we can come right to his side again. Hey, I'm thinking about you. I'm looking forward to seeing you this Sunday. The plan is that we're going to be inside or outside, wherever it's warmer. By the way, it's 34 degrees here right now. It's colder than the coldest Sunday at the Coach House. But we'll see what the weather's look like. But we're having church, and we're going to continue to have church as long as that's possible. And we're going to fellowship and sing and encourage each other and enjoy the blessings of the Lord. Hey, Pastor Mark from Dayton, Ohio, wishing you a great day and looking forward to seeing you on Sunday. Aloha.